All right, welcome everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing $2,000 monthly checks for the low income and how this is by far the best approach. That's the focus of the video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, a new study was just released, and this is actually really good, as the study shows that sending out ongoing $2,000 monthly checks, specifically focused on the low income, is the best approach going forward, and this would actually have the best effect going forward as well. Well, I do want to share with you the details of this study and exactly what they found from this, because yes, I actually agree with exactly what they're talking about here in this video, and sending out these ongoing $2,000 monthly checks only for the low income, not everybody else, just the low income, is a very, very good approach. So again, I want to share with you all the details of this report so you can see exactly what is going on here, and I'd love to hear your feedback down below in the comment section. Do you agree with what this is also saying as well? And again, I'll give you those details here in just a second. So let's jump into it and talk about what is going on in this report. However, really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you have not done so yet, can I ask a huge favor of you? Will you please make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below the video? Again, only if you haven't done so yet. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. I'm watching all the details, watching the headlines, doing all the research, advocating on your behalf, and doing anything I possibly can for you right now. I know it's a rough time financially. Everybody needs more money. That is no surprise. That is no secret. We all recognize this, right? Everybody needs a lot more cash right now. It's been tough. The last couple of years have been really tough, especially for the low income and fixed income. Again, you've heard me talk about it before in all the videos. Yeah, we talk about all of it. It's a tough time out there. So anyway, I'm here for you no matter what, every single day, doing all the research, again, watching everything out there very closely and pointing on anything you can possibly grab or take advantage of. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below, and also feel free to share this video with your friends on my social media, again, with the share button right down below. All right, thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and let's talk through the details of this study, this report, and what I want to bring to your attention here in this video. All right, so first off, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Do you think that they should send out $2,000 ongoing monthly checks for everybody, or a massive percentage of our population, like, I don't know, 85% of our population? I'm going to say this much. I don't agree with that, okay? Again, a lot of people need money right now, but not 85% of the population. I do not agree. I don't think that a huge percent of the population should get checks. However, sending out ongoing monthly checks for a very specified group of people, that I agree with, okay? Now here's the thing. Think back a couple years ago, 2020, we got two checks then, $1,200 and $600. Back in 2021, we got $1,400, a total of $3,200 that went out to 85% of the population. Do you think all 85% of the population needed that money? I'm going to go ahead and say this much. No, not even close. Did they want the money? Yes, absolutely. They took it, right? We all took it. Everybody out there took it, but not everybody needed it. And that is what we saw with a lot of different issues that we saw over the last couple of years here, is way too much money going out to way too many people. However, this study actually finds that we don't need to do that. Next time around, we definitely do not need to do that. That was a major experiment, and they found that that experiment was not a very good approach, right? But here's what they're finding. That sending out a very specified dollar amount, in this case, they used $2,000 in this study right here, they found that sending out $2,000 on an ongoing monthly basis for a specified period of time. And again, it could be 2 months, it could be 3 months, it could be 5 months, something like this, a very short specified period of time, but $2,000 for a very specified group of people. Again, low income. Now here's what I want to point out really quickly. As they identify low income, this encompasses about 50 million, maybe 100 million people, tops. That's it, okay? Now again, think of it this way. How many people receive fixed income benefits? As of right now, about 70 million people. How many people are living in poverty? About 40 million people. How many people are encompassed as low income? Well, it depends on where you draw the line as far as low income, but again, 50 to 100 million people would encompass about, I don't know, anywhere between about 20 to say 33-ish% of our population. Okay, so it's very low percentages considering we sent out checks to 85% of the population a couple of years ago. Okay, but here's what they found with this. And again, let me share with you the details of this study. And again, I agree with this. I think it's actually pretty good, which is why I said that earlier at the beginning of this video. Okay. So here's what it comes down to. They found that sending out checks to 85% of the population doesn't really work. It causes a whole bunch of issues like inflation, supply chain issues. It causes all kinds of issues for a very long time. But rather, sending out $2,000 on a monthly basis for a few months, again, few months being specified as anywhere between 2 and 5 months, to anywhere between about 50 and maybe 100 million people at most, it actually has a much higher effect. Now, let me share with you the details of what they found with this. They broke down different groups of people into 3 categories, and they identified it as MPC, marginal propensity to consume. That's what that means, okay? So that's the very smart way of saying, if we give somebody money, how fast do they spend it, okay? So they broke down these people into 3 categories: low MPC, medium MPC, and high MPC. Now, let me share with you what they found. Somebody with a low MPC is generally somebody with a high income. These people are not what they want. So sorry, high income people, you're out of here. We don't want you, okay? That's what they found from this, is that high income people have a low MPC. In other words, if you give a high income person $2,000, what do they do with it? They're like a squirrel. They stash it away. They hide it away for the winter like a bunch of nuts, right? You get that little, you know what I mean? So anyway, my point is they find that high income people are not the people that they want for ongoing monthly checks or even checks of any kind, because they don't do what they want with this money, right? Remember, the purpose of stimulus checks. What is the purpose of stimulus checks? So we can go out and buy a bunch of crap we don't need? Well, maybe that could be the purpose, but no, the purpose of stimulus checks is to actually spend it. That's the purpose, okay? A lot of people have this wrong idea thinking, oh, we're supposed to save stimulus checks. No, we're not. Think of the idea here. Stimulus checks are for stimulating the economy. That's literally what they're for. That's why they're called EIP, economic impact payments, is we're supposed to impact the economy with the payment. That's literally what they're for, okay? It's not supposed to be saved. It is not supposed to be hoarded. It is not supposed to be invested. It is not supposed to be cashed out and put under your mattress. It is not supposed to be used to pay down bills. It is literally supposed to be used to go out to the stores and buy things. That's literally what they want us to do with it, to stimulate the economy when the economy is down, okay? Anyway, you probably heard me talk about that before in other videos. I don't need to elaborate that too much, but they find that low MPC people are high income people that generally do not spend the money fast. If they do, it's a very small percentage of it, and they usually hoard it or pay down debt with it. Wrong answer. That's not what we want, right? We do not want these people to get $2,000 checks because they won't do the purpose of the money, right? As in spending it. However, medium MPC people, what do we find with them? They spend a little bit, they do some dabbling around, they save a little, they invest a little, they pay down some debts, they spend a little. It's not really good and it's not really bad. Medium MPC people, they don't really accomplish what we want either. They don't do the purpose of checks in the form of stimulus. They don't do it. Okay, so as a result, medium MPC people, again, sorry, you're not what we're looking for here, okay? However, what they find is that people with a high MPC, bingo, here's what we want, okay? Let me explain the details of a high MPC person. Somebody with a high MPC is actually somebody that is generally low income or fixed income. What they find is that this person generally takes the money and they spend 80% of it within 10 days. In other words, in $2,000 here, if someone were to get a $2,000 check and they are high MPC, the statistics show that they would spend 80% or what is that? $1,600 within, is that right? Yeah, $1,600 they would spend of this $2,000 within the first 10 days, and the remaining $400 would be spent over the coming 1 month. Exactly what we want here, okay? So that's what they continue to find with this study here, is that high MPC people who are generally low income or fixed income people are exactly the type of people that they want here. Why? Because here's what they find. With this study, again, remember, what did we find with the stimulus checks that went out between 2020 and 2021? Well, we found that a little under $1 trillion of stimulus checks went out to 85% of our population. Well, as a result, the last couple of years here, we've been dealing with supply chain issues. We've been dealing with massive inflation. We've been dealing with all kinds of issues. Now, again, I'm not saying that all of that is attributed to the stimulus checks, but, some of that probably is, okay? However, they find that going forward next time, we do not need to go down this path again. We do not need to send out money to 85% of the population. However, sending out ongoing, highly focused $2,000 to high MPC people for a couple months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, maybe 5 months at most, $2,000 a pop for anywhere between 50 and 100 million people. Again, about 20 to maybe 33% of our population at most would actually have a better effect. In other words, it would cost way less money. In other words, they would not spend nearly $1 trillion on sending out checks to 85% of the population, but rather they would probably spend about $400 billion, less than half of what they sent out earlier, sending out to the people that they know would give the same exact effect on the economy, which would be spending it. Stimulating the economy, buying goods and services, spending the money rather than hoarding it, saving it, investing it, paying down debts, paying down bills, things like that. That is not stimulative, but rather spending the money in the economy to buy goods and services is stimulative, and that is actually what they want with these stimulus checks, okay? So anyway, long story short here, it's actually a great report, and it finds that continuously going forward here, in the event that we find ourselves in a situation where they start distributing stimulus checks again, like what they did a couple years ago, just sending out high dollar amounts, again, $2,000 is what they found here in this study. Again, just the nice round number they used in this study. But sending out highly focused money to a very highly focused group of people will actually have a much better effect on the economy and the overall situation going forward. We won't see the massive supply chain issues. We won't see the massive supply and demand issues. We won't see the massive inflation that we've seen over the last several years here. And it's all because giving the money to the people that they actually know would actually do the actual effects that they want with it, as in spending it, stimulating the economy, and it would be going out to a far smaller group of people. Overall, they would have the same effect here, giving higher dollar amounts over a couple months here to a very specified group of people versus just a bunch of money going out to everybody and saying, everybody, let's go party. No, sorry, wrong answer. That's not what we're looking for here, right? So again, not only that, this also helps the low-income people who actually need the money, who maybe don't have the resources or the income coming in or things like this. It helps these individuals get the things that they need as prices are moving higher and things like that. So anyway, very, very good report here. I find this to be actually very enlightening, very informational. And like I said a minute ago, I actually agree with this. Sending out checks to 85% of the population is not a good approach. I'm sorry, that is not a good approach at all. 85% of the population will gladly take the checks. 85% of the population does not need the checks. There's a huge difference between need and want, right? Huge, huge difference. So anyway, the people that would actually need the money, and again, the lower income people, would actually do exactly what they want with it. Again, everybody wins in this approach, except for the people that may not get it. They might think, hey, what about me? Am I going to get something? Well, maybe not, right? So again, who knows what's going to happen next time? And again, I want to make it very clear. Maybe I didn't allude to this exactly, very, very clearly here in this video, but I'm going to say it right here, right now. No, stimulus checks at this time are not approved. $2,000 ongoing monthly checks right now are not approved. However, this is a very good study showing exactly the effects of sending out ongoing $2,000 in the event to low-income people versus just a big blanket check going out to everybody like what they did a couple of years ago. When we got the $1,200, the $600, and the $1,400, it was just a huge blanket check, just, helicopter money at that point, literally just pushing it out to everybody. It's not really a good approach, right? And we saw all of the negative effects of that, and we've still been dealing with them as of recently, which is way, way too much money out there available, chasing goods and services, driving prices higher, supply and demand issues, and supply chain issues, all the things that we've been dealing with for the last, 4 years now? Yeah, exactly, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this helps you. But again, I found this to be very fascinating. I want to share this with you. And who knows? We'll see what happens here. Next major economic contraction, next major economic recession, whatever happens here, we will see how they approach this thing. Who knows what they're going to do. But again, great study here. So again, please enjoy your day. If you haven't done so, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Share the video, again, with the share button right down below. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those that I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Otherwise, right now on your screen, you'll see some videos popping up as well. Make sure to check out one of those videos. So go ahead and make your selection now. And thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in just a minute here in the next video. Thank you.